What's up everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. It is officially the end of Scarlet and Violet. As we get into Mega Evolution, I thought it'd be fun for us to look back at the Scarlet and Violet era, talk about all the sets that we had from Scarlet and Violet, and where do we rank them on our tier list, because now we can actually rank every single Scarlet and Violet set. I've been waiting 3, maybe 4 years to finally do this, so I'm really excited. I am doing zero research beforehand, and these are going to be my off-the-cuff thoughts. Purely what I currently think about these sets. We are going to talk about these sets long term, which is how do I think these sets are going to be remembered in the next 5, 10, 20 years? Are they going to be S tier, which are timeless classics? Are they going to be A tiers, where they're full of heavy hitter cards? Are they going to be B tier, solid showing, but nothing super crazy? And we have C, which are just fluff filler sets. D are our forgettable releases, and F tier means it's binder dust. These are the sets that are going to sit in the back of people's closets for years and years to come, where no one's going to look at them. I'm going to be honest, I don't think, off my initial thought, any Scarlet and Violet set deserves to be F tier, so this may be empty for the whole entire video. We may have some sets that are going to be pretty lowly ranked though, so it might rustle some jimmies, but it'll all be in good fun. We're going to start with Scarlet and Violet base, and we're going to go all the way till the end of the Scarlet and Violet era, where we have both Black Bolt and White Flare together. I think that's actually correct. Both of these sets are so similar, you kind of have to group them together. They're twins, they're two peas in a pod, however you want to word it. So I think this will be fun. Off the cuff thoughts, this is just going to be my initial thought. I'm really not putting any prep into this, so I might not even know that much about some of these older sets, but let's see how well I remember the Scarlet and Violet era. Before we get started though, I'd like to thank Buyee for sponsoring today's video. Buyee is a proxy service that allows you to purchase Pokemon cards directly from Japan, and they will ship it to you anywhere in the world. If you're currently looking for Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia, and the upcoming Infernal X set, which features Charizard, is going to be a hot pickup, you can purchase those booster boxes directly from Japan today. If you'd like to purchase other things that are not TCG related, but are still exclusive merch directly from Japan, it's actually a lot cheaper if you go through a proxy service where you can purchase unique plushies and all kinds of cool accessories directly from Japan, and they will ship it to you anywhere in the world. Well, the great thing about Buyee is that they now offer authenticity verification, which is something that a lot of people have been asking for, and I'm really excited for them to be offering this, because there's always the risk that you're purchasing incorrect or poor Pokemon cards or fake Pokemon cards, especially if you're purchasing cards that is not from the Pokemon Center directly. I think it's awesome, so if you want to check out Buyee today, click the link down in the description and get yourself 10% off your very first purchase. It's a really good deal on purchasing Pokemon cards directly from Japan. Moving back to our tier list, I'm really excited to do this, and the first one up is the Scarlet and Violet base set, which is actually one of my favorite set from the Scarlet and Violet era. I really liked it. I had a very fond memory of Scarlet and Violet base. I loved the Gardevoir line from Scarlet and Violet base, and the pull rates were really solid. Unfortunately, the pull rates might be too good, or there might be too many packs out there, but basically Scarlet and Violet base is not fondly remembered upon, but it's still a base set. So I'm going to start off and just say it's C tier. Personally, for me, I would like to put it in B tier, but right now I'm just going to put Scarlet and Violet as C tier, because I do think a lot of people see it as a filler set. Now we got ourselves Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved is an incredibly popular set. I do not love opening up Paldea Evolved booster packs, and the reason why I don't love opening up Paldea Evolved booster packs is because there are so many illustration rares inside of this set. It's incredibly unlikely for you to pull the illustration rare that you are looking for. Basically, if you pull yourself the Magikarp, which is the best illustration rare from the set, you got very lucky. There is no world where you can actually hunt this card, because you can open up 300 Paldea Evolved booster packs and it's still unlikely for you to pull the illustration rare that you want, because it's so hard to pull any good illustration rares from Paldea Evolved. So if you want a specific illustration rare, it's just really hard to pull, but I still think it's a great set because it has 30 plus illustration rares and a bunch of really cool SIRs. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in A tier as a heavy hitter set. Now we got ourselves Obsidian Flames, which is technically a Charizard set because there's one big card inside of it and it is Charizard. Very common for the Pokemon company to release a Charizard set within the first couple of sets of any new era, and that's mainly to build a lot of excitement. People love Charizard. It's just a great way to open up a series of sets. And Scarlet and Violet Obsidian Flames only has one really big pull, and that's the Charizard. Obviously, some people talk about some of the other illustration rare, like the Ninetales. It's really good, but even then, it's pretty eh. I don't think there's a ton of great stuff inside of Obsidian Flames, but it's not a forgettable release. I think people are going to be talking about Obsidian Flames, and people are going to remember it as the Charizard set. So for now, I'm going to put it in C tier as a fluff filler, just because there's one card that you want, really, which is a Charizard, and you can pretty much get all of the other illustration rares for maybe $100, maybe even less. It's not that expensive of a set. Now we got ourselves Scarlet and Violet 151. It's actually shocking how early in the Scarlet and Violet era we got 151. We got base, Paldea Evolved, Obsidian Flames into 151, which is crazy to me. And 151 is a really, really good set, I think. It is an easy, timeless classic. Like, that's an easy S tier for me. There's no world where Scarlet and Violet 151 is not a timeless classic. 151 of the original Pokemon, all in the same set. Fantastic illustration rares. Our first set with a God Booster Pack, if you want to call it that, because you can pull yourself the whole entire Charizard line, whole entire Venusaur line, or a whole entire Blastoise line in a single booster pack, which is really, really neat. It's an easy S tier. They could have done it a little bit better. It doesn't have Master Ball inside of English, which is a negative. But even with like the small gripes you can talk about 151, it is still a timeless classic. There's no other word for it. And then we got ourselves Scarlet and Violet Paradox Rift. I think Paradox Rift is probably... God, I want to put some of these as B tiers because I actually like Paradox Rift quite a bit. I also like Temporal Forces quite a bit, but I don't think so. I'm so unfortunate about this, but I think Paradox Rift is a forgettable set. And that's coming from me. I don't remember much from the set. I always get Paradox Rift and Temporal Forces confused with each other. And some of the cards, I keep getting mixed up on which cards are inside of it. But I don't think the future and past gimmick is going to be heavy impact long term. I don't think people are going to remember those gimmicks from the Scarlet and Violet era. If you're going to remember Scarlet and Violet era, you're going to remember Paldea Evolved. You're going to remember 151. I think people are going to forget about the cards inside of Paradox Rift, and that really hurts me to say because I actually like the set, but this is how I perceive things happening in the next 5, 10, 20 years. It hurts me that Paradox Rift is forgettable, but I think that's what it is. I don't think it was done as well as it could have been done, and I feel like right now we're in a forgettable phase. If I had to rank all these sets and say which ones you remember the most, I'm going to say Paradox Rift is the most forgettable right now. I remember Scarlet and Violet and Obsidian Flames just a little bit more. It is what it is. Paldean Fates. Paldean Fates has 3 good cards inside of it. 3 like really good cards that you really, really want to pull, which is the Bubble Mew, the Shiny Charizard, and the Shiny Gardevoir. Those are the 3 big hits you want inside of Paldean Fates, and really not much else. You might want yourself a Shiny Pikachu and a Shiny Charmander, but the problem with Paldean Fates is it's full of Shiny Pokemon from the Scarlet and Violet era, and people don't really care about the Shinies from the Scarlet and Violet era. People want Shiny Umbreon, people want Shiny Rayquaza, people want Shiny Classic Pokemons, but they don't want the Shiny Pokemon of the latest gen. Now, you can make an argument and say, hey, maybe in 20 years, when all of these Scarlet and Violet kids grow up, they want the shiny version of their Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. But currently, that's not where I see it. It's still a really good set, but I don't think Paldean Fates is a timeless classic, and that's mainly because it really got 3 big hits, but people remember Paldean Fates. No one will forget about Paldean Fates, and for that reason, for now, I'm going to put it as a heavy hitters set. We don't have any Bs yet, but I think that's going to change some point in the future. Now we got Temporal Forces, and because I put Paradox Rift in D tier, I'm also going to put Temporal Forces in D tier. There are some really good SIRs inside of it, but again, Temporal Forces is completely reliant on the future and past mechanic, and I don't know if those future and past Pokemons are that relevant. I think they are very forgettable. I don't think people care about the past and future Pokemon that much. I don't love that every single future Pokemon has the word iron in its name. Iron Valiant, Iron Bundle, all of these different iron Pokemon, Iron Hands. And the problem with them is, what is futuristic about iron? There's nothing futuristic about iron to begin with. It's just a weird way to name these Pokemon, but that's more of a personal gripe. I think Temporal Force is a D tier right now. It's very forgettable. That may change. This is more than just my perspective. This is how I see all of these sets evolving in the future. This may make some people really mad, but I hope it's fun. Now, I said that there were going to be no F tier set, but seeing Shrouded Fable, is Shrouded Fable F tier? Oh my god, if there was an F tier set, it might be Shrouded Fable. But that's not the next one. We got ourselves Scarlet Violet Twilight Masquerade, and I think Twilight Masquerade is our first B tier set. There is one really memorable Pokemon inside of Twilight Masquerade, and that is the Greninja card. Most of the other illustration rares and SIR inside of the set are pretty forgettable. Ogerpon being the biggest one of them all. There's a ton of Ogerpon SIRs, and they're very forgettable. The one card people remember is Greninja, and that alone is carrying this set quite a bit. Obsidian Flames is standing on just the Charizard's back, and Twilight Masquerade is standing on just the Greninja's back, but the Greninja inside of Twilight Masquerade is so much more iconic than the Obsidian Flames Charizard, and that's all it takes to bring it up to B tier. I think if you were to compare it, I think Twilight Masquerade is a tier above Obsidian Flames, so Twilight Masquerade is B tier. Now, I alluded to this, but I think Shrouded Fable might actually be F tier, and it's not that bad of a set. It's actually a very good set if you compare it to older sets. The problem with, again, with Shrouded Fable is it lacks some of the iconic arts and iconic Pokemon. There's two really cool cards inside of Shrouded Fable. It's the Greninja EX and the Kingdra EX, but both of those cards are promo cards. If those two cards were inside of Shrouded Fable, immediately Shrouded Fable moves up on to B tier probably, with just those two cards alone being inside of Shrouded Fable. But because those two cards are missing from Shrouded Fable, there's not a lot of here, because again, it's reliant on all of the new Pokemon. Shrouded Fable is so heavily reliant on you caring about Scarlet and Violet Pokemon, and most people simply don't care about them yet. It's because they don't have that same nostalgia oomph that Charizard and Pikachu and Mew. And nostalgia really carries the Pokemon company. It really is built on nostalgia. So if there was ever an F tier set inside of the Scarlet and Violet era, I'm gonna have to say it's Shrouded Fable. If there's any Shrouded Fable fanboys in the comment section, please let me know why Shrouded Fable deserves to be at least D or C. There's some cool cards inside of here. I think the Persian is the most memorable of the whole entire set. But if there's something in here, let me know. And this one's going to be controversial. We got ourselves the Scarlet and Violet Stellar Crown set. And I would really like to put this set into B tier, but I don't think it's B tier. And the reason is because there really isn't any heavy SIRs inside of the set. Stellar Crown is being, again, it's crazy. It's a Scarlet and Violet era set, but it's being carried by nostalgia. There's two good cards inside of Stellar Crown, really, and they're both illustration rares, and you know what I'm talking about. It is the Bulbasaur and the Squirtle. Those two illustration rares are carrying Stellar Crown, but is two illustration rares enough to carry a set? And I don't think it is. I think for that reason, I'm going to put, Stellar Crown as a fluff filler set. I really, really think it should be B. I like Stellar Crown quite a bit, but here's where my perspective differ from, I think, the community and the hobby. I think if the hobby were to do a tier list, they would put Stellar Crown into C tier. Surging Sparks, though, is clearly better than all of these sets. I don't think Surging Spark can reach A tier. Like, it can't be Paldea Evolved or Paldean Fates level. It almost is Paldean Fates level, because I actually think Surging Sparks has a little bit more to give than Paldea Evolved, which is really focused around just the Magikarp. There are a lot of other illustration rares inside of Paldea Evolved, those good ones too. If there was ever an argument for an A tier set, maybe. Surging Sparks is not bad. It's between A or B. It's like half A, half B. I could see a world where we move Surging Sparks into A, but I'm going to leave it at B for now. I think, yeah, it's still better than Twilight Masquerade. I would pick Surging Sparks over Twilight Masquerade. It just has more awesome cards that you'd want, because the Greninja card is the only card outside of Twilight Masquerade, and Surging Sparks has a bunch more SIRs that are just cool. Prismatic Evolutions. I think this is an F tier for some people. I think some people would happily murder Prismatic Evolutions. But Prismatic Evolutions is so iconic. Everyone remembers Prismatic Evolution. Here's the thing. I've pulled all the Prismatic Evolutions Evolution cards versus their V forms or promo forms or other chase cards from Evolving Skies. And Prismatic Evolutions, none of the EVs has ever won their poll from Prismatic Evolutions. The art from Prismatic Evolutions is never been the one to win it. But the crazy thing is, Prismatic Evolutions has 30 SIRs, 30 fantastic SIRs. Even if you remove the EVs, there's a bunch of really cool ones inside of Prismatic Evolutions. Even if you remove the Umbreon EX and the Sylveon EX and all of those SIRs, there's just a bunch of cool cards in here. I don't think there's a world where people forget about Prismatic Evolution. If you love this set, if you hate this set, you're still going to remember it. And being remembered is the most important thing for a set, because the last thing a set wants is to be forgotten. If you are forgotten as a set, that is the worst thing that can happen to you long term. And so for that reason, I'm going to put Prismatic Evolutions as an S tier set, because it is timeless. I don't think anyone who's currently collecting right now will forget this year what Prismatic Evolutions did to the hobby. No one will forget it. Prismatic Evolutions will be remembered for the next 20 years, no matter what. Whether it's a good set, whether it's a bad set, whether a bunch of other cards overshadow it, Prismatic Evolutions will not be forgotten. All right, next one up, we got ourselves Journey Together. Easiest B tier of my life. Easiest B tier of my life. Journey Together has a bunch of really cool cards. It's right on par with Surging Sparks and Twilight Masquerade. Actually, it's probably better than Twilight Masquerade. Let's put it right there. Twilight Masquerade barely makes it into B tier, actually. I think Surging Sparks and Journey Together, extremely comparable. These two packs, equivalent to me. These two sets are equivalent. I'd be happy to rip open both of these equally. I don't think a world where I can do either of these justice. And Scarlet Violet Destined Rivals. This one, again, easy A tier. Destined Rivals is probably the best non-special set of the Scarlet and Violet era. I think that's the most memorable thing about it, is that absolutely, Destined Rival has a ton of really cool SIR, a ton of awesome illustration rares. I would be happy to rip open Destined Rivals booster packs any day of the week. Tons and tons of really cool cards inside of the set. Fantastic set. Easily the best not special set from the Scarlet and Violet era. That's the best thing I can say about it. Now here's the wild card. Where do I think Black Bolt and White Flare land? This is the final set from the Scarlet and Violet era, and it's really tricky. It's a very good set. Both of these sets are really, really solid. They're fun to open, but it is a coin flip. Do you care about Black Bolt and White Flare? You know, these sets don't have Charizard, Rayquaza, Pikachu. It's completely reliant on Black and White. So if you didn't play Black and White, if you don't care about these starters from Black and White, if you don't care about Zekrom, Victini, or Reshiram, are you going to be opening up Black and White? Probably not. So for you, this set is just simply one that you might not remember, but I do think Black Bolt and White Flare are going to be remembered. It's going to be between A and S tier. I think Black Bolt and White Flare are just right next to like Destined Rivals and Paldea Evolved and Paldean Fates. They're right there. I don't think Black and White can make it to S tier as timeless. Really good set. An illustration rare for every single Pokemon. But again, it's reliant on black and white. And how memorable is black and white long term? I think black and white are still a really good generation, and I think these sets are great. I think people are going to remember them, but I don't think there's a world where they come to meet 151 and Prismatic Evolutions in terms of memorableness. You know, like these sets have so many good illustration rares, so many iconic Pokemon that you are going to remember these sets forever. Paldean Fates, some people might argue is S tier, but I just can't see it. There's 3 chase cards you want inside of Paldean Fates. So yeah, I think if I were to do this tier list right now, and I said, this is based on memory, based on what I remember of these sets, based on how I think people are going to remember these sets in the future, and I think this is exactly how we land for the Scarlet and Violet era. There is some gray area between these tier. Can Shrouded Fable be D? Sure. Can Twilight Masquerade fall into C? Sure. Can Searching Sparks go into A? Okay. If you think Destined Rivals is S tier, I think that's fine too. But I think this is a very solid tier list for how I think the Scarlet and Violet era shakes out. Honestly though, if you take even the worst Scarlet and Violet set and you compare it to the best Sun and Moon set or the best XY set, I still think Shrouded Fable is still really solid as a pack opening experience compared to any of those older Sword and Shield Sun and Moon sets. You know, there are some Sun and Moon sets that may be better, like Team Up or Cosmic Eclipse, but there aren't that many of them. Most of these older era sets are actually worse. So it really goes to showcase though how much the sets have improved over the last couple of years. So I'm excited for Mega Evolution. It's very clear that Mega Evolution Base is going to be a good set. It's very clear that Phantasmal Flames is going to be a good set, and more to come. It's going to be interesting to see where Mega Evolution takes us. This is not where I expected the hobby to go. I did not expect the Scarlet and Violet era to end with Black Bolt and White Flare. But here we are. We're looking back at it, and I'm very happy with how Scarlet and Violet shook out. These were some really awesome sets to open, and they all bring me fond memories. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are. Is this how you envision the Scarlet and Violet era? Let me know where we differ. Hopefully you guys don't take it too seriously, and I'll see you guys next time.